But I have to be careful about being a smartass. I was making a joke. These people have no sense of humor. They are the most literal people. But my point was they're all.
It wasn't a joke. You weren't a joke. Like what's funny about Tesla like stock dropping? Like, I mean, if somebody made a joke about a trans person or a gay person or a woman or, you know, any other protected group, suddenly I guarantee you this guy would be talking about how bad it is and he'd be moralizing about it. Like Trump makes a joke and it's at the expense of a group of people that are, you know, in some way disadvantaged. This guy would be the first one tweeting about it saying it's bad. It's just bullshit. It's bullshit. And nobody cares whether it's a joke or not. And the people, and by the way, we used to care and give people the benefit of the doubt for like, oh, well, you're just joking around. You're not really meaning this. But the moment that people started losing their jobs and getting deplatformed for telling jokes that were politically incorrect, that time is over now. And so, like, you can't start this, you can't create a world where you get deplatformed for telling a bad joke and then expect that you can tell a bad joke and be like, wow, people have no sense of humor. Yeah, neither did you for 10 years when you were deplatforming people for telling jokes. Bad faith argument. Joking by punching up is one thing. Punching down is another. Why is it okay to joke from punching up? Is there a reason why it's okay to joke from punching up? What's your moral argument that it's okay to degrade somebody based off of an immutable characteristic or joking? Why is that okay? Can you explain that to me? No one is degrading Elon by making fun of his stock. Tesla's stock going down is by the way of Elon's decision. That's on him. That's like celebrating a country getting bombed and then making jokes about it and then saying, well, I'm not celebrating the people that are being killed. I'm celebrating the government experiencing the bad decisions of itself. And if you did that, you'd be an asshole. This is a 0 IQ comment. It's like the same as Johnny Somali goes to Japan and he's spamming Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Like, he's clearly not the dominant race there. Japan and Japanese people are clearly above him as a random foreigner, but he's still the asshole when he's running around spamming that. It's very simple. If you find yourself being part of the group that is figuring out excuses for why it's okay to treat certain people with a higher level of disrespect or disregard than other people, you're probably the bad guy. And you're probably doing a bad thing. If you're trying to figure out reasons why it's okay for you to mistreat one group of people, but it's not okay for you to mistreat another, you're making my point? You're punching down by saying something like that? That would be punching down, and yeah, that's bad. Punching down and punching up is irrelevant, and it's all a matter of perspective. The idea that you can only punch up at people, all that gives people the ability to do is figure out reasons why other people are above them. There's no justification for why you should be able to degrade somebody because you've decided that they're in a better situation than you are. There's no justification or logic or ethical or moral reason for this at all. There's no foundation for it. There's no justification. There's no rationality to it. There's no logic to it at all. This is an emotional argument that's made by people that are resentful of people who are in positions that they deem to be enviable. And so they think because this person is in a position that's enviable, now it's okay to mistreat them and to do bad things. You should not punch down. You should not punch up. But you should punch back. This is a disgusting retard comment. This is, yeah, it's not irrelevant. It's very common comedy philosophy. Yeah, it's a very common comedy philosophy by retards. And also, by the way, no, it's not. Dave Chappelle makes jokes about all kinds of people. He makes jokes, and so did George Carlin, so did everybody. And this entire, it's comedy philosophy. It's not. Yeah, same as South Park. Yeah, it's not even what's happening at all. Good comedians punch everyone. Exactly. And so when you disagree with them on the small spot things, long-standing relationships, because they're radicalized. That's the reason why. But I just want you guys to see, why are we suddenly caring about other people's opinions and feelings? Because so there's two things that you can do, right? You can be on the moral side, or you can be aggressive and aggressive and like bad, right? So like if you want to be an asshole, you can be an asshole. But I fucking hate people that are assholes that pretend like they're not assholes. And they come up with these mental gymnastics for why it's okay for me to mistreat you, but it's not okay for you to mistreat me. That's the problem. If you want to be a piece of shit, be a piece of shit. But don't go and act like you're doing it and there's any sort of like moral superiority or moral high ground for it. You're being a piece of shit, and that's it. You act more honest? Yeah, it's obnoxious. Do you think Johnny Somali knew he was an asshole? Yeah, I think so. Isn't that just your emotional response? The crime is still the same, rationally speaking? Well, yeah, it's bad. But we're not talking about a crime. We're talking about somebody who's saying something that's disagreeable. And I'm either I'm deciding, like, is this opinion a valid opinion or not?
Ignite your career. Change the world. Join the team at the Aerospace Corporation, where you'll be part of an organization that touches every aspect of civil and commercial space, where every day brings.
And I, said something I didn't, probably shouldn't have about a company. He is agreed. So
what did she say
about a company? He is.
I don't know what she said. I have no idea.
Agreed. So I make the case. They're all butthurt about the Tesla thing, but they don't care the disrespect they have shown to employees at the Minneapolis VA who care for our veterans, and they fire them. They don't care. So we will have the conversation.
I mean, if Republicans set the VA on fire, I'd say that's bad. Yeah, like, so if Republicans went and they set the VA, I think that would be really bad. Now, of course, that's not happening.
About efficiency in government and about doing that. But none of us believe for a second they're thinking about this. Oh, we fired everybody that's dealing with Ebola. And then he went into the Oval Office wearing a hat. I don't ever want to hear anybody talk about decorum and respect or that. Wearing a hat, coming in there, richest man in the world. Again, this maybe is just me. If I'm the richest man in the world, I'm like out on the streets handing out the money. It'd be fun as hell just to help people out. Go help people out. Not this guy. Not this guy.
So even he acknowledged that it was stupid for him to have said that. Even he did. No, you wouldn't? I don't know. Is Tim Walz sponsored by Mountain Dew? I don't know. I think he's as a vet for Voice of VA. Some of the vets that work at the VA are some of the laziest, entitled shits I've ever heard. I don't know. Where's Governor with that? When did he start caring about our buildings? I don't know. Yeah, who falls for this? A bunch of upper middle class people that think that they're better than everybody else who disagrees with them morally, and so they think that it's okay for them because they're punching up. It's okay. Let's punch up. And by the way, punching up. The logic of that is so silly because when cars are being destroyed by people that are setting them on fire, you don't even know whose car you're burning. So how do you even know that you're punching up to begin with? The person that you're burning their car, they could be living in their car. They might not even be able to have a house. And now you just effectively set it on fire. It's like the logic for this is just it instantaneously evaporates the moment that you apply any critical thinking to it at all. It's complete emotional messaging at all. A Tesla house? Yeah. There's people that live in their cars. Absolutely, there are people that live in their cars, for sure.
About the Tesla stock, he says it gives him a boost to see that stock going down.
That poor guy didn't check his portfolio and his own pension plan for state. It's beyond stupid what he did. He's talking down a 3.5% weighting in his own pension plan. I mean, what's the matter with that guy? He doesn't check the well-being of his own constituents in his state.
I think that really goes to show what he really would do if he had the control of money. Because if he's controlling, basically he's saying this and he's celebrating everybody's pension fund going down. You ask, if I had a bunch of money, what would I do with it? Well, you just made people less money. That's what you'd really do. That's what you did.
He literally doesn't mind sacrificing the pensions of his own citizens as long as he can get a win over Elon Musk. And that's just the common theme we see with the modern day Democrats. Whether it's the useful idiots going to prison for vandalizing Teslas, a few female athletes losing their scholarships in the name of inclusion, or the victims of horrendous crimes due to their unwillingness to enforce the border. They are completely comfortable in sacrificing their people, all in the name of preserving their political agenda. And even though
they're not, they're always, and you see this, right? This is like a group of people, like you look at this Tim Walz rally, and it is like 99% white people that are constantly talking about how much they love diversity.
What's better than an ounce of free silver? How about 500? Get ready for another monster.
I see that. Right. Okay, for sure. Okay. And this is the thing. It's just virtue signaling. It's so transparently virtue signaling. It's embarrassing.
it sounds outlandish to say that, you cannot find a single Democrat politician telling their constituents, hey, don't vandalize these Teslas. The Trump administration is reclassifying these crimes and you could do some serious time. No, they want their base to be angry and emotional, because the second they become level-headed and rational, they just might start to question, wait, why is Doge finding government waste a bad thing? Because at this point, critical thinking is antithetical to liberalism. So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription, then go check out the video on how college campuses are finally getting red-pilled.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen a lot. And I think it's especially true, by the way, it's especially true with, what do you call it? With college campuses and with young men. And I actually saw a graph. This is a really great video. As I said, I think that the Tesla attacks, like, I view anybody who's like trying to play defense and justify any type of this bad behavior, this person is now, like, if anything bad ever happens to this person, I'm not really going to care that much. Honestly, I'm not. And I think that there will be a reciprocation from this. And there will be backlash from this. And it will be bad. It's karma. Yes, exactly. And it's bad. There's no defense of criminal behavior. Yeah, anyone justifying this are retards. It is. Yeah, violence is violence. It's just that simple. And there's really nothing else to say about it besides that.
What's your worst assignment horror story?
I had a 10-page paper, and, that didn't turn out too well.
Just last night, actually, I had to do...
So just when you think things can't get crazier, they do. On March 15th, a team of researchers, including Filippo Bianchi, came across what appears to be a massive structure underneath the Giza pyramid. And this structure would extend 2 kilometers deep underneath the pyramid. And this is wild. This is one of the most life-changing and mind-blowing discoveries ever, if true.
Aquí están los pilotes
And right now, everyone on social media is talking about this.
You are literally not going to believe what they've just found underneath the Khafre, the middle pyramid in Giza.
We're not going to believe what they found, not only inside the Great Pyramids, but underneath the Great Pyramids. This discovery is going to change everything that we know about, well, everything.
What has just been announced in relation to the pyramids at the Giza Plateau and the plateau itself is so incredible and narrative shattering that I have been sitting here for the last hour trying to wrap my head around the implications of what we were just told.
The implications of this, if real, are huge. There's a bunch of crazy theories that the pyramids were not built by humans, that there's advanced and ancient technology that was used to build not only the pyramids but a bunch of ancient structures. And
described first by Christopher Dunn as a Crookes tube, perhaps an electrical bulb. And again, snake throughout every culture, from Asia through Africa, represents electricity, Kundalini energy. Here, it looks like it's what somebody said, a condenser, because it's working with the electricity. And again, we're not talking wireless electricity, because it is plugged in. We have a creature here. We don't know what this creature is, but the important thing is what the texts say. This is a warning that this is a knowledge, a power that can be abused. So we say...
And if this structure, this massive structure under the pyramids are real, then this could change the entire history as we know it. So I decided to dig deeper into this, and I came across information that may suggest that this is all fake, to push a narrative, to discredit researchers, and I came across videos, articles, and information that suggests that this could be real, that there's maybe something, or more than just something, underneath the Giza Plateau. But what is it? Now, there's a couple of strange things that I also came across. I found out that the entire topic is already being censored all over Reddit, where every post about the recent structures found beneath the pyramid are being deleted. I also found out that the community notes on Jay Anderson's post on Twitter, which has 10 million views, it has been removed. The community notes said that the information was fake, and now it's been completely removed. So let's start with the basic, and that's where it all begins on March 19th. With Project Unity on Twitter, and he says, groundbreaking findings on the Giza Pyramid complex could rewrite human history.
So this is pretty much breaking news because the new findings were announced on the 16th of March at a press conference held by the team who was studying the Great Pyramid of Giza with a non-invasive technology that was first developed by Filippo Bionde and Corrado Malanga, called synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography. So this was used to explore the internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza. And this method leverages the analysis of micro movements typically generated by background seismic activity to achieve a high resolution full 3D tomographic imagery of the pyramid's interior and subsurface components. The recent findings from deploying this technology are nothing short of mind-blowing, because what's been discovered is that there are huge structures coming down from the base of the pyramid deep into the bedrock, in fact over 600 meters deep, which then connects to structures that extend up to 2 kilometers below the surface of the ground. 2 kilometers.
So at this point, there's a lot of people coming up with the craziest theories that maybe this is some sort of battery or some sort of harnessing system that the pyramids had to harness energy, or even an underground city of some sort.
Internal structures connected to the base of the pyramid and extending deep, deep down. This is what we know so far. Utilizing high-resolution radar images from Capella Space and Umbra, which are 2 private companies that specialize in satellite-based synthetic aperture radar imaging.
Yep. Checks out. Cutting-edge space systems, from refined mission solutions to Bastion-class data. Okay. SAR data. There you go.
This has allowed researchers to create a 3D model of the internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Now, this model has revealed a previously unknown chamber with 5 horizontal levels and a sloping roof, which in of itself is an architectural design unlike any previously documented in the Giza Pyramid. But the most shocking discovery lies beneath the surface, below ground level, radar tomography has identified vertical cylindrical structures extending for hundreds of meters beneath the pyramid. There are 8 of these cylindrical wells arranged in 2 parallel rows, descending to an astonishing depth of 648 meters.
So I did find the original file, and this is it. This is what we're talking about. This is the official press release by Corrado Malanga, Armando May, and Filippo Biondi, which a lot of people are categorizing this as fake, and others are saying that this is the real deal, but we are going to find out. This is the Khafre Project document, an abstract of the conference on March 16th. SAR technology that was used to scan the pyramids, and apparently they found a bunch of chambers that were uncategorized before this scanning system was used, and these are the cylindrical structures that were found beneath the pyramid, as you can see. The 8 cylindrical structures identified in our tomographic images appear as vertical wells, hollow inside, surrounded by descending spiral pathways. Would you look at that? And this is the base of the pyramid, I guess. This is the extent. This is wild. Look at that.
Try our most affordable unlimited phone plan. Get 2 lines for just $80 per month with Simply Unlimited from Google Fi Wireless. You get unlimited data, calls, and texts, plus 5 gig.
This is how long these cylindrical structures are. And I guess that this is something that they found also. This is amazing. And what appears to be, I'm not sure what this is, but it looks like non-natural structures, as they state. What is this? Is this an entire city down there?
Even more intriguing, at the base of these structures are 2 massive cubic formations measuring approximately 80 meters in diameter. The tomographic data suggests that these are vertical wells with intricate spiral pathways. Now, this design not only implies a functional purpose, but also a level of sophisticated engineering that completely blows the dynastic Egyptian model out of the water.
So again, this stumbles across a theory that a lot of researchers and archaeologists have, including Brian Forrester, that the Egyptians did not build the pyramids.
We don't talk about much. We see this, the tunnel itself is all carved in the bedrock.
Right.
So imagine if we turned off this light now, we're not going to be even able to see our palms right ahead of us.
Right.
So imagine that you are actually doing this, the challenge of this work in the dark. What you're gonna be using? A flame? There is no even markings of anything dark. And there are no openings in the ceiling.
In this specific video uploaded by Brian Forrester 10 years ago, he goes over to Saqqara, Egypt, and in there he goes to the Serapeum. Actually, he goes underground, the Serapeum. Now, the Serapeum in Egypt is an ancient underground burial complex near Saqqara, and it's supposedly dedicated to the sacred Api bulls. The lid of the tombs weigh approximately 100 tons, and they are located 12 meters underground inside the Serapeum. And there's this complex systems of tunnels carved into the bedrock. Thing is, things get really strange and well engineered inside the Serapeum. Let's just say too perfectly engineered.
To be other devices, I believe, in this place, which we can see that there is a carving in the wall to house something else. I believe it could be a false door, or what we know as the false door, which is another device that can possibly regulate frequency and sound.
There's also the fact that the lids itself weighs at least 50 tons each. We would need at least 2,000 men to drag these things down. How was that done in the dark? There are no markings on the walls of fire or any type of tool that they used to light up the place. And there's not enough space for them to drag these things down. So how was it done? One of the theories that Brian Forrester and many other archaeologists have is that the Egyptians found the pyramids the way they were and added hieroglyphs and other things to rewrite history and make it look like they built it. And inside of the Serapeum, there are certain things that may actually prove such a thing actually happened.
If they had the technology to be able to do the cutting, moving, shaping, and finishing of the box, then they would have had the capability of elegant and eloquent carving of the hieroglyphics, and that's not the case. So clearly what you're looking at is you're looking at a super ancient series of these boxes, and later they were discovered by the dynastic Egyptians in situ, underground here, and the dynastic Egyptians carved the hieroglyphs on the surface.
Well, it really, Brian, doesn't require a professional to realize the difference between how sharp the cuts are and the surface is, and how crude the writings are. Because in cases like what we see over here, for example, this is a marking of a primitive tool that could not even create a straight line on the surface.
Right.
That's so clear. It doesn't require even a professional in machining to see the difference in these surfaces.
There's also the Sphinx in Egypt, where there's this crazy theory that there's an underground city of some sort underneath it, and it was supposedly accessed by certain people and archaeologists in the past through Shaft D. The shaft's entry is nowadays forbidden, and the access has been completely blocked, even though some people have tried to access it, and here's a video of such a thing happening.
The Sphinx has been the subject.
Are you ready for retirement? Our free retirement planner shows you where you stand now and how you can meet your goals. Sign up today at empower.com.
Of fascination for centuries. People have climbed it, scanned it, and even dug tunnels into it. But most people are still left wondering, what is inside the Great Sphinx of Giza? There are several known shafts or passages which lead directly inside. The first shaft, Shaft A, can be found on the head of the Sphinx. The hole measures approximately 5 feet square and nearly 6 feet deep. Today on the mouth of the hole is an iron trap door, blocking its entry. The next shaft is Shaft C. It sits on the back of the Sphinx, and it's a square shaft, which is said to lead to a dead end. However, the footage you'll see in a moment will disprove that entirely. And Shaft D is where it gets interesting. This shaft goes much deeper. It appears that once inside, at least the back of the Sphinx is in fact hollow. But again, this shaft appears to hit a dead end.
And here's the video by Diesel Punk Cummings 3 years ago of them actually going inside this Shaft D, which supposedly leads to a hollow part of the Sphinx that, again, supposedly leads to this underground massive space underneath it.
Alright, found some more iron staining here on the ground. So there was definitely water in this enclosure at one point.
This is them going into Shaft D.
What do you see, Adrian?
To go over there. Please, please. No, no.
What do you see, Adrian?
I see that. Need to go over there. Please, please.
Yeah, it's been blocked. Look at that.
Okay, so that's a dead end. Here we are under the Sphinx. In one of the forbidden holes.
So what's really weird is that both entrances to these shafts have been completely blocked. It's not a dead end. Someone decided to block them for whatever reason. So it might just be that this new find by Filippo Biondi of these underground structures in the Giza Plateau maybe are not that far-fetched.
This is not all, this is the beginning of it. Not only that, at the very base of the pyramid, like ground zero of the pyramid in the center, they have found 5 of these kind of stacked chambers, which are identical, look like they're kind of identical in size and form as the king's chamber of the Khufu pyramid, the one next door. 5 of these chambers just chilling in the middle of the pyramid, and then 8 cylindrical, massive underground structures that go deep down. And what is under that? I'll show you. So 4 of these cylindrical structures dropping deep down into the earth. They go into 2 square sort of chambers.
So because of the shape of this thing, which seems to be coiled and cylindrical, there's a lot of people saying that this could be some sort of energy battery or harnessing machine or something like that. There's also others saying that this could be an underground city of some sort that was covered by sand at some point in time. There's a very interesting video by the Y-Files where he explains neatly how it is very possible that the Egyptian pyramids, the Giza pyramids, are actually a free energy device.
Nikola at some point we all decided that we wanted to be chefs.
A lot of love in this dish.
Yes, girl.
Something burning?
Am I missing one? Oh my god. You have been so unorganized.
Let me do my thing. Don't bother me.
Martinis don't have ice in it.
Tesla believed that he could harness the energy from inside the Earth and transmit that power wirelessly around the world. His early experiments were successful, but his research mysteriously vanished after his death. There is no evidence left of Tesla's wireless power technology. Or is there? For years, we were taught that the Great Pyramid of Giza was a tomb for a king. It wasn't.
If this is the case, it will make a lot of sense to why there are many chambers that are blocked. The access to a lot of tunnels is completely forbidden. It would also make sense to why there's a lot of people trying to control this narrative and say that this new find from Filippo Bionda is fake. Now we're going to get to that in just a few moments, and we're going to take a look into if this is really fake or not. But as people dig deeper into this, there are more things that they're finding. In 2024, this account posted this very interesting picture on Twitter. 190 miles east of Catalina Island on the ocean floor and 13 miles long. Look at that. That does not look like it's a natural shaped object, does it? Now what you're looking at is the ocean floor seen from satellite imagery. This is coming in from Google Earth. And as you can see, it seems like we have this very bizarre shaped structure. Actually, it's very symmetrical. It doesn't look like it's a natural mountain or anything like that. And just next to it, two pyramid-shaped mountains. Very perfectly shaped, actually. So whatever this thing is, it doesn't look like it's a natural formation. And there's a bunch of those all over the world. So something may have happened in the past, and we know nothing about it. There's also this article that was posted on September 7th, 2024, and it says, China's super radar detects plasma bubble over the pyramids in Giza. So there's a powerful LARID radar in China that can detect plasma bubbles in Earth's upper atmosphere. So in this article it states, plasma bubbles can have a significant impact on modern warfare, and there have been many related studies supported by military forces worldwide. And with the aid of the world's most powerful radar of its kind, Chinese scientists have detected plasma bubbles appearing over both the Egyptian pyramids and the Midway Islands almost simultaneously. So the idea that the Egyptian pyramids may actually be projecting or harnessing energy isn't that far-fetched.
For the first time ever, scanning technology has been used on pyramids, and the results are quite surprising. The preliminary results of the Scan Pyramids project indicate an anomaly in the 4,500-year-old Great Pyramid of Khufu.
Whatever's going on here, it was also detected by Chinese radar. And once again, the Y-Files neatly explains how he believes that these Egyptian pyramids, the Giza pyramids, may actually be some sort of power source.
Small chambers, narrow shafts, no markings at all. The way the pyramid was built and the materials used to build it suggest it had a different purpose. The king and queen's chambers were built with granite that is 85% quartz. The tunnels and passageways are also lined with quartz-rich granite. Pressure was applied to all this granite. It would generate a tremendous amount of electricity, turning the pyramid into a giant power plant. One of the most compelling cases comes from Christopher Dunn. He believes the process starts in the subterranean chamber. Below the pyramid are aquifers. As water moves through the underground cavities, sound waves are created. The frequency of these waves resonate with the Earth's natural vibration. As those waves move up through the pyramid, a process is used to magnify, focus, and convert the sound into energy. The Queen's Chamber was used for a chemical reaction that created hydrogen, and there's substantial proof of this. There are two interior shafts that lead to the Queen's Chamber. The northern shaft has traces of hydrochloric acid. The southern has traces of hydrated zinc chloride. Combining these two chemicals creates a volatile reaction that generates hydrogen, a lot of hydrogen. This hydrogen gas would flow from the Queen's Chamber through the horizontal passage and into the Grand Gallery. The Grand Gallery is also made of granite. As the hydrogen gas builds up, the pressure compresses the granite, creating electricity.
Quick question. Have you heard about Google Fi Wireless? Their Simply Unlimited plan costs only $80 a month for 2 lines.
This electricity also ionizes the air, increasing conductivity. Within the Grand Gallery were 27 or 28 pairs of resonators that would vibrate and emit sound. The hydrogen atoms would organize themselves into waves in sympathy with the sound waves of the gallery. These sound waves further excite the stone, creating even more electricity.
So let me check this out. Okay, so I found this over here, and in 1998, Christopher Dunn wrote a book called The Giza Power Plant. However, in a chemical diagnosis, they found sulfuric acid, not hydrochloric acid. But still, chemistry suggests that hydrogen gas could be created from chemicals found in both the southern and the northern shafts, but it could also be produced from each shaft alone. So this theory isn't that far-fetched.
The next piece of evidence is the pyramid's ability to focus EM energy. In 2018, scientists used radio waves at different frequencies to see if the Great Pyramid would interact with electromagnetic waves of a resonant length. Their experiments proved that in a resonant state, the pyramid can concentrate electromagnetic energy in the internal chambers as well as under its base. Resonance in the pyramid can be induced by radio waves with the lengths ranging from 200 to 600 meters.
Wait. Okay, so there you go. This is in 2018. Chambers in Egypt's Great Pyramid concentrates radio waves.
The closer to 200 meters, the more dramatic the effect. A year after that, in 2019, Eric Wilson published a paper called A Large-Scale Thermal Acoustic Generator. The paper describes how, when granite and other rocks are vibrated, electrons will migrate through the rock and up to the surface. By combining science and music, the builders of the pyramid created a power-generating machine tuned to the natural harmonic of the Earth's vibration that primarily comes from the tidal energy created by the moon's gravity. This technology, created thousands of years ago, could generate unlimited clean energy. But how did they get the energy out? That brings us back to Tesla. His Wardenclyffe Tower was built on top of an aquifer, with copper and iron rods extending down into the water. When electricity was sent into the tower, it was to be transmitted around the world through the atmosphere. The pyramid is also built on an aquifer, and copper pipes and iron rods have recently been discovered there. If the caps...
Well, not only copper pipes and iron rods, but supposedly these huge structures that go 2 kilometers deep into the bedrock. Now, if this is real, and for now, it is not 100%, but if it is, this would change absolutely everything we know about the Egyptians, the pyramids, and free energy.
This has been described first by Christopher Dunn as a Crookes tube, perhaps an electrical bulb. And again, snake throughout every culture, from Asia through Africa, represents electricity, Kundalini energy. Here, it looks like it's what somebody said, a condenser, because it's working with electricity. And again, we're not talking wireless electricity, because it is plugged in. We have a creature here. We don't know what this creature is, but the important thing is what the texts say. This is a warning that this is a knowledge, a power that can be abused.
So apparently there could be a chance, a great chance actually, that these builders, the builders of the pyramids, knew something that we don't. And I guess that the fact that this Chinese satellite using radar technology found plasma bubbles on top of the Giza pyramids may actually prove that yes, there's something going on there in terms of energy. Now there's a couple of reasons why people think this might be fake, and one of them is it is not peer reviewed, so it is not official yet. And there's another reason to why people think this might be fake. I know they're talking about the fusion of techniques, but everything I have read suggests that the SAR technology that they use to scan it can resolve to about 40 to 50 meters deep. So 2 kilometers down seems like a huge advancement. And unless they're using some sort of advanced SAR technology, it would make sense that no, they weren't able to scan that deep. However, there are a bunch of people who think this might be real, and for several reasons. One of them is, Turkey has several large underground cities. I see zero reason why Egypt can't be full of them too. Ethan says, honestly, this stumbled me upon something vastly more interesting, the shaft of Osiris. It's somehow under 100 meters of bedrock. Talk to anybody who works at construction. Bedrock is something we can't even barely get through today. So apparently it's not that impossible that there's some sort of massive structure underneath the Giza pyramid. Not only that, this document hasn't been officially peer-reviewed like this one has. This, for instance, is the original document released in 2022 by Filippo Biondi, and in it they do not mention these underground structures. However, they do mention the existence of several chambers within the pyramid. But if this document gets peer-reviewed, and if it is proven that it exists, that this structure exists, and it's possibly some sort of free energy device, it could mean a lot of things. One of them is it possible that this could explain how the original builders of the pyramid actually built these massive structures? Is this technology that they had the reason why they went missing, why they disappeared? Is it possible that if this is indeed a free energy device, is it possible that this is the reason this knowledge is being suppressed in today's world? And would it change history as we know it and our future? What do you think? Leave a comment, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, smash that like button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
This next clip allegedly comes from CCTV cameras in an unknown city in the Philippines. A woman in a red hoodie is seen walking along a city street, but the CCTV camera image becomes very strange.
Yung glitch doon, masira yung CCTV natin. Yun na. Kasi kay Sanchez yung CCTV, bakit ganyan? Wala yung ulo. Pati nga nung bangka.
As you can see in the clip, the video seems to glitch in a very bizarre way, making it look as if the woman's head disappears multiple times. But oddly, the rest of the video is perfectly clear. Now, in the Philippines, there's a strange superstition that says that if someone appears in a photograph without a head, it means that that person will soon pass away. Creepily enough, a few minutes later, and this happens.
Ayun, no? Bilis. Ayun, nawala ng pera.
The unfortunate woman is accidentally struck by a runaway taxi van, and it is said that she did actually pass away as the result of her injuries, just like the old Filipino superstition says. Now, this clip immediately went viral on Philippines websites and social media, but no one knows the original source of the video, which leaves us to wonder, is this real proof of the paranormal? Or is it just an old malfunctioning CCTV system? Or is it all just a very elaborate hoax? As always, you decide. Nightlight. A woman named Brandis says that late one night while she and her husband were sleeping, their home security camera caught this strange event at 2:45 in the morning. The family dog perks up as a bright light flashes and what looks like a pale little face seems to peek out of the door. Then a shadowy figure about the size of a child seems to be standing in the hallway before disappearing, just as the little pale face peeks out of the door again. Brandis and her husband Sky have never posted or even experienced anything paranormal, and they say they have no idea what this could be. Something at the door. Chase Beckstead and his wife Rachel are staying overnight in the house of Rachel's recently deceased grandfather. The elderly man had passed away in the house only 1 month earlier. So the couple is just settling in for the night when suddenly something happens that is downright creepy.
How you doing? You okay?
I don't know.
You a little freaked out?
A little bit.
So, we were just going to bed and we're not... Let me just show you. Like, we've literally had to put the bag up against the door because we're not sure. And like, we're literally just...
Even though there's no draft or air current in the house, the bedroom door begins to randomly move as if it's being quickly pulled back and forth by some unseen force. Understandably, Chase and Rachel are pretty shaken up by the strange, unexplained phenomena. They decide to just pack up their stuff and leave the house. But this is when things get even creepier.
Okay, so we're leaving. We got all of our stuff packed. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, we're out of here. Rachel's already in the car. I'm leaving, like, I don't know what's going on.
As Chase is gathering their luggage, the bedroom door slams shut right behind him. And again, it begins to move back and forth, this time even faster than before. Chase says that he still has no idea what could have caused the strange movement of the door. Some video commenters believe that this was the ghost of Rachel's recently deceased grandpa, but some think it might have been something more sinister that had taken up residence in the house. But what do you think? The follower. It's around 5:30 in the morning and two girls are on a hike through the mountains in the Philippines with a large group. The girls stop a little too long to take some pictures and accidentally get left behind by the group. The girls run to catch up with the other hikers as one of them films, but her camera captures something truly bizarre.
Naliligaw kami, guys! Naliligaw! Wala ni mga kasama namin! Wala ni mga kasama namin. Kailangan namin silang habulin kasi maliligaw kami. Gagi, malayo na sila. Wala na.
Did you see it? As the two girls run along the mountain trail, way back in the background, some strange shadow figure seems to be following them. But a little bit later, the mysterious dark figure has just disappeared. The girl who posted this video says that she and her friend were completely alone and they have no idea who or what this could be. She says that she only noticed the shadowy figure when she watched her video back later. So, what do you think? Was someone stalking them through the remote woods? Or just what is this? You decide. A short stay. A guy named Brendan has a YouTube channel where he camps in his van in some strange and sometimes very dangerous locations across the UK. In this video, Brendan decided to camp overnight in the coastal village of Jaywick in Essex, England. Now, amongst other things, Jaywick is known as one of Britain's poorest towns and has a very high crime rate. In other words, it's not really the best place to be camping overnight in a van, but that doesn't stop Brendan.
A little town in England called Jaywick, coined as one of the most deprived towns in the UK. And I thought, as soon as I'm in the area, I just had to go and see it.
Brendan searches around and eventually finds a place to set up camp that is just outside of town, and kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Listen to me. I'm alone, but I mean, there's no other houses around me, so it's not as if I'm alone in a housing estate.
Brendan sets up his bed in the van and lies down for a night's sleep. But around 2:30 in the morning, things take a terrifying turn.
I think someone's outside the van.
Right, whoever the that was has now gone. I'm gonna get out of here. Oh my god. Oh, fuck's sake. Where's my phone?
Someone with a flashlight skulks around outside Brendan's van, trying the door handles, before smashing the window to get inside. Hey! Luckily, Brendan yells and sends the intruder running. He then hops in the driver's seat and just gets out of there. Brendan makes it out safe, but obviously is very shaken up by the whole ordeal. He decides to not only leave the town of Jaywick, but to drive all night, 3.5 hours, all the way back to his home.
I just, quite frankly, just wanted to go home. I was really, I wasn't in a good mind space. After cleaning a little bit of broken glass from my driver's seat and the dashboard, you'd be surprised how far glass goes when it smashes. I've been finding little bits everywhere, but the van was in no fit state to continue camping in, and nor was my headspace, should we say. So I made the long journey back home. I think it was a good 3.5 hour drive back to my house in Shrewsbury. Got there just before sunrise. Not a pleasant drive, to say the least.
Despite this frightening encounter, Brendan still goes camping in his van and posts his adventures over on his YouTube channel, Brendan Explores. If you see something that you think would be perfect for the top 5, email me at nukestop5@gmail.com. You can also tag me on TikTok at nukestop5official, and be sure to tag me only at nukestop5official, because there are a lot of fake accounts on there. Get out. A guy named Carter moved into a new fully furnished rental house, but not long after he moved in, he began to experience strange things and hear unexplained noises. Late one night while he's asleep in bed, he hears the creepy sound of what seems to be someone hitting keys on the piano in his living room.
Who's there?
Carter decides to lay on his living room couch to try to figure out just what is going on with the piano. As you might imagine, it did not go well.
Dude, what the f***?
The piano plays again and a chair moves, and Carter decides that he's had about enough. He decides to leave the house to stay with a friend, but as he is leaving, he manages to capture this video. As Carter heads for his car, he sees his TV flickering and his lights randomly turning on and off inside his house. Now, usually when people watch these videos, they say, well, if the place is so haunted, then why wouldn't he just move out? Well, that's exactly what he did. Carter moved right out of that house, and the end of this haunted story, I guess. Hiding under the covers. A video poster who calls himself Celtic Dabs works the reception desk at a creepy old hotel in Arizona. One day, his coworker shows him something very strange that keeps happening in one of the rooms.
What the Nah.
Yeah, cause let me hit it now, and then
yeah.
Shut up,
bro.
Something seems to be moving around in a strange erratic pattern under the bedsheet. But when Celtic's coworker slaps the sheet, it just disappears. Celtic says that each time the sheet was tidied back up, the same weird phenomenon would happen again. So, just what do you think this could be? Also, if whatever is under the sheet isn't enough to scare you, well, just imagine staying in a hotel that put sheets like this on the bed. Honestly, the thought of sleeping in those sheets scares me more than whatever is moving around under there. So either way, this video is truly disturbing. Night call. Late one night in Pueblo, Colorado, an emergency call comes into the 911 dispatch center. But whoever made the call hangs up almost immediately. The 911 operators trace the call and find that it came from Imperial Memorial Gardens. Well, the weird thing is, Imperial Memorial Gardens is a funeral home, surrounded by an 80-year-old cemetery. And it's 3:30 in the morning, so no one should be there. Now, as standard procedure, the 911 emergency operators call the funeral home back to make sure everything is okay. And someone answers the phone. This is what the 911 operators hear.
911, this is Erica. How can I help you? Hello? Hello? Hello?
There's a lot of static and a quiet male voice seems to say something a few times, but then the call just goes silent. Again, as part of standard procedure, the emergency operators send the police to check out the old funeral home. But when the officers arrive, they find the funeral home locked up and all the lights are off. No one's there. Now, I tried to clean up the call audio as much as possible, but there's just not much there.
Hello? Hello?
So, just who made this call? And what do you think they might be saying? Lurking in the dark. A man in South Wales walks out to his car very early one Wednesday morning to head off to work. It's just before 5 a.m. and the rest of the neighborhood is still asleep. No one else is around, and the man doesn't notice anything unusual. But later that night, as the man checks through his security camera feed, he sees something that sends a shiver down his spine. As the man approaches his car, some lumbering form seems to appear out of nowhere, quickly hurrying away. And then, whatever this is, simply disappears into thin air. Now, the figure moves at a very odd angle and speed for this to be a lens flare. And considering that the rest of the video is in sharp focus, it seems very unlikely that this is some kind of compression error or problem with the camera. So, just who or what is this? Scary videos. So I like to end these videos with the stuff that kind of starts off scary and then just gets weird and kind of goofy. Speaking of which, TikToker Dre in Dallas experiences something spooky in his home, but instead of chasing it down to record with his phone, he goes the complete other way.
Come on, where you hide her stuff at?
Mom, where's my Gucci? Oh, it's a ghost in her.
No, I'm not. Come on, Janae. Come on, Janae. Janae, come on. Janae, come on, friend. Come on. Janae, come on. It's a ghost in this mother.
Next up. Now this video from Matt Sowards was shot on a country road in the middle of nowhere with no other cars around anywhere. Do not ever do this prank to someone who is driving.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Zarra a la ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Bien vi, compa, con una calavera.
So, in case you missed it, the guy in the backseat hangs a life-size cardboard cutout of a zombie out of his window and dangles it in front of the driver's window. And the driver slams on the brakes and freaks right out.
¿Qué compa? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Zarra a la ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Bien vi, compa, con una calavera.
Now, lately on this channel, I've shown many kids scaring their parents for their own amusement. But you see, this segment is very different because TikToker Katie Funny Guy makes videos where he scares the shit out of his wife and kids.
Never say nothing. Never say never. You ball that! Oh, fuck. Hello. Right here. I'm right here. Bye, Jay. Bro, what you doing, man? What you doing? That's too damn loud, bro.
But now, recently, Katie Funny Guy had an experience where something maybe gave him a little taste of his own medicine.
I was creeping. I'm talking about, yo, I was shook. What would you would have done? Hell, y'all gonna peek around the corner. For real. The f***. Like, I was scared too. I just ain't show it.
So, I think the lesson here is, if you keep scaring your family yourself, then the ghost in your house might take that personally. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here next time.
Introducing custom t-shirts. Sticker Mill makes it easy to turn any design into a custom shirt.
So far, no one's been able to positively identify the figure or provide a plausible explanation for its strange ethereal appearance. With limited information available, this bizarre sighting continues to baffle and intrigue those who come across the footage. Unless new information emerges or someone comes forward with a credible explanation, the identity and nature of this mysterious figure will remain an unsolved mystery, adding to the growing list of unexplained phenomena captured on camera. Have you ever had a feeling that there's a supernatural presence lurking in your house? Maybe you've seen a fleeting shadow out the corner of your eye or felt an inexplicable coldness. The feeling can elicit goosebumps even though you're not quite sure what you're experiencing. However, if you suddenly start hearing a disembodied voice, the situation becomes harder to ignore, especially if the voice sounds eerily like your own. According to TikToker Marissa Ryan Stan 69, that's exactly what happened to them. They were lying in bed when they heard a mysterious voice that sounded just like theirs calling out to them from another room. Watch.
Come here. Come here. Hey, come here. Come here. I talk to you. Come here.
It sounds as though the voice is saying, "Come here, in here, come here, hey, in here, come here, I've got something, come here."
In here. Come here. Come here. Come here. What I told you. Come here.
According to a comment from the original poster, the mysterious voice responds to theirs, yelling louder when they too raise their voice. In a follow-up video, we see the poster frantically pacing around the house.
This is my family home. I grew up here. And we've never had a single experience.
They ask the audience for help identifying the supposed supernatural presence that's causing the disturbances.
I just need somebody who knows what this is. Please reach out. I don't care if it's in a comment or privately, just please reach out.
Although this time the eerie voice remains silent, it seems that the presence still might make itself known. As the TikToker nervously moves about, we can see an unlit candle sitting on top of the toilet. However, just before the video ends, a flame can clearly be seen.
Somebody please reach out with an answer or some help or something. Thank you.
So is this TikToker's house really haunted by some sort of paranormal force? Let me know where you sit on this in the comments down below. When you live on the edge of the woods, you never know if you're being watched by something hiding among the trees. In this video, uploaded to TikTok by adventure.bigfoot, we hear a child telling someone to go get their parents. The dogs are barking in the backyard and they don't seem to know why. While they wait for their dad to arrive, the child keeps the camera focused on the backyard. Their father soon shows up. He ventures outside to get a better look and notices something moving among the trees. Watch.
Oh yeah, right there, look.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
While it's hard to see at first, a close-up reveals what appears to be a furry bipedal creature.
Oh yeah, right there, look.
The figure quickly disappears behind the ridge. Luckily, the child's father manages to spot it again. And at one point, he thinks there may actually be more than one of them. Whatever it is, it continues to walk among the trees for some time, perhaps unaware that it can actually be seen. Some viewers think it's just a human, however its height and furry appearance seem to suggest otherwise. Could this mysterious creature really be the legendary Bigfoot, as some of the comments were saying, or is there another explanation behind this rather revealing video? Let me know your theories down below. Recently, we reported on a spate of mysterious UFO sightings that have occurred all over the United States. In each case, they seem to have three glowing orb-like objects in close proximity to one another, seen moving about in the night sky. Here's the one we showed a few weeks ago, caught by Reddit user Expensive Ad 1774. Captured on the streets of Washington, D.C., the video shows three orange lights floating in the sky above the busy city. They slowly shift their position before eventually disappearing into the clouds. The post quickly gained traction on the platform, with several viewers noting that they too had seen similar lights. They describe orange lights that fade in and out as they maintain a similar pattern. Some people claim to have seen the lights blink off completely, while others have witnessed them moving at breakneck speed before disappearing altogether. This photo, captured in Long Island and posted to Imager by Necrid41, shows objects that are eerily similar. The person who snapped the picture said that the lights began in a triangle formation before moving into a straight line. Yet another curious individual captured footage of a similar sight. This video, which was posted to Reddit by Gookie Space, shows a triangular formation created by 3 orange lights in the sky, with what appears to be a 4th rogue light floating at a distance. Commenters said it looks just like the video from Washington, DC. With so many similar sightings occurring, one has to wonder what these mysterious objects actually are. Could they be alien craft observed?
At University of Phoenix, we offer an unlimited number of scholarships, so everyone who qualifies for one gets one, starting with your first course, or you'll get a better offer you qualify for. Whether you're a caregiver, upskiller, status quo shaker, or career changer, if you're ready to learn, there's a scholarship to be earned. Learn more at University of Phoenix.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a single integrated platform. Add products, showcase them dynamically, and seamlessly track your inventory. Accept multiple secure payments, and design your storefront down to the very last detail. Get all the tools you need. Drive more sales with customizable gift cards and flexible product subscriptions. Retain customers with a point-based loyalty program, email automations, and reach millions with sales channel integrations. Complete your setup with a personalized analytics dashboard. Make smart business decisions and shape the next phase of your business. Build, manage, and grow from one place. Go to Wix and launch your online business today.
Sightings in the UK, Japan, Canada, and Sweden. While some of these sightings have been explained, other phantom train mysteries remain unsolved. So then, does this video show a driverless ghost train wheeling its way across the countryside? And what about that mysterious figure that appears to be hitching a ride on the back? Watch the clip again and let me know what you think's going on here in the comments down below.
Don't know who's running that, but I mean, yeah, okay.
This drawing illustrates accounts that were taken from multiple children in a schoolyard in 1994. Posted to Reddit by user 678990655, the image shows a large disc-shaped object surrounded by 3 smaller objects in a field. Several figures with large dark eyes can be seen emerging as a group of schoolchildren look on. The alleged sighting occurred on September 16, 1994 at the Ariel School outside Ruwa, Zimbabwe. The students were outside during a mid-morning break while the staff remained inside attending a meeting. When they returned from the break, several children reported seeing 1 or more silver objects floating in the sky. According to accounts, these objects descended into a nearby field where they landed among the brush. The students then saw creatures with big eyes and black clothing exiting the craft. Some of the children ran back towards the school, but those who remained had more to report. They say that the beings attempted to communicate with them telepathically. The message was about an incident that was going to happen and warned that humans have to stop polluting the earth. This is one of the most famous UFO cases in Africa, and experts have devoted a great deal of research to the incident. Skeptics have attempted to explain the sighting as a prank or the result of mass hysteria, as some of the supposed eyewitness accounts differ in details. Yet others believe this might be due to the fear and shock of such a harrowing incident. While some of the children believe that the creatures were manifestations of characters from local folklore, experts say that the case presents compelling evidence of an extraterrestrial visit to Earth. The following photos are several stills taken from a hunting cam which was posted to Reddit by user Teddy Roosevelt's Rifle. At first glance, there doesn't appear to be too much to see besides a deer feeder surrounded by a fence. But if you look more closely, you can make out a mysterious illuminated figure to the left of the feeder. The figure looks to be standing on 2 feet, It appears to have thin limbs and a rather large bulbous head with sizable eyes that are reflecting the glow of the camera. The second photo shows a zoomed-in image of the figure, but unfortunately the resolution is very low. Since they were posted to Reddit, the photos have been rather polarizing. Some viewers think it's just a deer with its head down facing away from the camera. Others think it could be an owl, a cat, or even a possum. However, some have turned to the paranormal for an explanation. They suggest it could be an alien or even a duende, a mythological creature comparable to a gnome. Unfortunately, these two images are just not enough evidence to definitively prove the identity of this strange figure. So for now at least, this creature will have to remain a mystery. A Facebook post from user Elan Spa has captured widespread attention after sharing strange footage of two glowing orbs of light being followed by a Black Hawk helicopter over the skies of Sarasota, Florida. The video, which shows the bright orbs moving steadily while the military chopper trails closely behind, has left many wondering what exactly they witnessed and why the media is staying quiet. Unlike traditional aircraft, the orbs exhibit no visible means of propulsion and seem to maintain a synchronized flight path. One observer, Jeff B., commented on the post, "Have you noticed how quiet the media has become about what's going on? I can't find a story about it almost anywhere." His comment reflects growing frustration among many UFO enthusiasts who feel sightings like this are being ignored by mainstream outlets, despite increased public interest in unidentified aerial phenomena. Whether the orbs are a genuine mystery or part of a military test, the Sarasota sighting has only fueled ongoing debates about what's flying in our skies and why we're not hearing more about it. For now, the footage stands as another puzzling entry in the growing list of unexplained aerial phenomena. Back in 2014, new homeowner Michelle Widwinter was settling into her recently purchased house in a quiet English neighborhood when she experienced a chilling encounter that would leave her questioning everything she thought she knew about ghosts. After moving in with her 2-year-old daughter, she quickly discovered that her home came with more than just 4 walls. It may have come with the spirit of a man who died in the 1870s. It all started when Michelle decided to take a photo of her home's exterior. The plan was simple: capture the charm of the house and share it with friends online. But as she admired the image, she noticed something eerie staring back at her. In one of the upstairs windows, a man's face could be seen, translucent yet detailed. "I ran into the house to make sure no one was inside," Michelle said. "I knew everyone else was at work, so it was just me and my 2-year-old daughter. But the face was there, clear as day." What made the discovery even more unsettling was that the face bore a striking resemblance to Samuel Kent, a 19th century murder suspect with a dark past. Unsure